Hello there, Board Game Maniacs, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Painting with the Maniac. What you see before you is the Wights from Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth by Fantasy Flight Games. So I already started it out just by like the other ones into this series of painting that we paint them in all black, rattle can them in all black, and then we just did a roughly 45 degree angle with a white spray hitting them down to zenithal highlight, as you can see, because we may be thinning the paints down so that the whites and the darks will show through the paint to give us all the highlighting we need so we don't have to highlight them afterwards, our little highlighting. You can see back here I already have 2 painted from the set. There's 3 in the core box, and I'll show you those right now. So there's this one here. I thought they turned out really good. I love skeletons and everything else, and they're really macabre looking and scary. So yeah, it's fun. So I painted this one here. I painted it in like a greenish black. You can see there. And this one I painted in like a dark, kind of like a bluish black, I guess you would say. And, you know, weathered them up and everything. So that's what we're going to be achieving today. They're a lot of fun. Pretty simple to paint too, I have to say. This one here, I was thinking what would be a good color to paint the cloak into this, but whatever we paint the cloak, we're going to paint the pants and everything too as well, just to keep it all the same, because in these they're all uniform too as well. They have the same color onto them for the most part. This one here has the green, but it also has the pants are not the green. You can see they're more of like a darker gray color. But with him, I think what we're going to do is we are going to paint his cloak red, like a deep red, just to differentiate him from the other ones too as well, because I think this guy looked really cool in red. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get ready and start painting this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to paint all of the bone, and we are using pelleted witch flesh for that. And it is watered down with some water, probably like a 2-to-1 mixture. And this is just so that it's going to flow easily, and it's going to show some of the highlights through too as well. And where I'm painting this, what I am doing is I'm just, you know, being as cautious as possible. But for the most part, if I get it on the cloak, it's not a big deal because we are going to be painting that afterwards. Same with like the teeth and the jaw. That's all going to be painted afterwards. So you can see here I kind of got it on there. Not such a big deal for what we're going to be doing. So all the bone is going to be painted first. So that's his face painted, and then we're going to do his hands. But before we do his hands, if you look closely, like around this part of his foot, his right foot, you can see his bone kind of showing through for his leg. So we are going to paint the bone too. Right there, and you can't see any bone protruding or showing here. You can see his rib cage though, so we are definitely got to be painting his rib cage. Every skeleton needs to show his rib cage. I think so. So again, I'm keeping the spaces. I'm not like totally saturating the ribs because I want the wash to go through. It is going to darken it up regardless. But the thing is with this too as well is because where we did the zenithal highlight first, and we're avoiding this area with the paint, it's just going to make it more darker when we put the wash onto it. And we're painting his bones onto his arm. See right there. And then his hand. It's clutching onto his sword. His favorite sword. Pretty easy. It is watered down. And again, I'm not trying to do full coverage on it because I watered it down from where I want it to show through in spots with the highlights. So that's what we're achieving here. But you can like thoroughly cover this very easily without worrying about watering it down for the highlights. You can prime them all in black or prime them all in white. It don't really matter. But this is just what I'm doing. So I have that option when I paint it. And the miniature talks to me and says like, hey, I want you to do this to me. That's right, the miniatures do talk to me. And I listen, because they are the master. So yeah, just be aware of that. You just got to listen to your miniatures when you're painting. What? What's up? Be a maniac. Yeah, how did you know that? Nice. See? He knows what he's talking about, or it knows what it's talking about. You don't know if he's a he or a she in his past life, but in either case, just it. That is it. It. No, not the clown. This guy is a scary looking individual. So again, just making sure I got all of the bases covered. And if I go over, because this is the first color on here, if I go over onto the cloak or anything, it's not a big deal at all because we're going to be painting it anyhow. So just, that's it. Now, I do see a little tiny bit of bone right here. So we're going to get that done too as well. Now we're keeping that space. And a sternum right here. See, it's already painted. You can see that you can see through like the gray tone a little bit, but I just added more paint to it because I want him to be white. I think that's it. So we'll leave this dry, then we'll go on to the next step. Since the bone is drying, we are going to use some Abaddon Black right now. And it's to the line. It is a base. And we're going to be painting in the little hollow right here into his stomach. Or, well, yeah, I guess it's stomach-wise. Just to make it look darker. And as stated with other painting episodes for this month, for Painting with the Maniac, I'm kind of loosely, and not completely loosely, but I'm basing this off of Sarastro's painting channel on YouTube. Again, I really like the way he paints. Very systematic, and he's a very skilled painter. So I'm learning from him. Because again, I'm not skilled enough to say this is a tutorial, because I'm not skilled enough. But he is certainly a great painter, so I kind of draw my inspiration. And I just change it up a little bit from what he does, just slightly. So just be aware of that too as well. And that's all the black that I'm painting, so I'm going to let that dry while the bone color is drying, and we'll be back. For the pants, again, I said I'm going to try to keep it all uniform, but if you look at the other ones, they have kind of like I want to keep at least the pants the same, because they're all dark, but this guy's kind of breaking the mold where he's going to have the red cloak. So just be aware of that. And I'm just grabbing the paint for his pants that I'm using. It's going to be Dark Reaper. It's layer paint from Citadel. And two as well is you're watering it down like 2-to-1 mixture, just so that you can see the highlights through this in contour, if you want. So again, just going through, painting away his pants. Not painting away, painting his pants. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, is painting his pants. As you can see, just like so. Can I get, so it's covering his bone. Woo-wee! Just taking it easy. Sorry there, Mr. White. I'm kind of painting in an area that is kind of your private. It's your own business, but you know, you need to be completely done. So you can see that the paint is not like super watery, but it is watered down enough. So just like so. Avoiding his cloak. And he has a little bit of the rim of his pants, I guess, right here. Just want to make sure that I get all the coverage for that. Same with here, he has his belt and the black, but I'm just painting right here, just slightly over a little bit, just like so. And if we turn them around, oh look, there's a little bit more of his pants that we got to paint here. So when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, because that is part of his cloak that kind of carries over. We just gotta be careful here. Be gentle, be really gentle. Just like that. Pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's what I always say. I didn't pause. La, 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 la. Oh no, you're listening to me sing. Next, we're going to paint his boot. And while we're painting the boot, we're going to paint the leather straps too as well. That's, you can see here, that's on him. And for that, we're going to be using flat brown mixed with some Abaddon black. So like 3 flat brown, 1 Abaddon black, and 2 water, just to help water it down just a little bit. So again, his boot for 1. And also his, it's not a boot, but bandages around his foot. You could paint them a different color, but I'm just doing the same as what his boot is. Try not to go over the bone part that we already previously painted on his foot, because his toes are showing through, right? That's right. Just like that. Make sure you get it all. There we go. Not too bad. Oh, I missed a spot right back here. Can't miss any spots there. That's a no-no. Alrighty. There's a little hair there. No, I forgot. Anyhow, I'm going to continue this and I'm going to paint all of his leather straps that are onto him as well. So once that is done, I'm using the same color brown. We'll be back. Here you can see the brown is all painted. This is going to be metal, so I left that like it is. And you can see he has some leather bracers going on there because he has like a metal shield part on the bottom, like a bracer, I guess, on his arm. So what we're going to do differently than what we did for this one's besides the red, because this blade is like all rusted and everything. We're not going to give kind of like a rusted effect onto this blade. We're actually going to just paint all the metal now with lead belcher. Just something different. And again, probably 2-to-1 mixture. So water to lead belcher, or lead belcher to water, I should say. So 2 lead belcher to 1 water. So it is a little bit of water, but not a big amount of water onto it, if that makes sense. So again, just painting this blade out like this. He could have rust on his blade and everything, but not putting rust on this one. We're not. If you want to see rust effects and how I did it, other videos that I painted into this, you'll see the rust effects that I did with the paint I used. So if you're interested in that, just go check out Painted with the Maniac, the previous ones on this month, theme month for the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth by Fantasy Flight Games. So you can see that, as well as battle reports, where Brady and I are going to be painting, or not painting, playing the app. I don't know how far we're going to get, if it's going to be one-off or it's going to be like trying to run a campaign, see how many videos we can get in for this month. We can do that too as well. And hopefully some live streaming. But we'll see. We have started live streaming. When this video is out, we've already started live streaming. It isn't like a set schedule. I will announce onto our Facebook page and our Instagram page for when they are coming out, though. Like Imperial Assault, we did live streaming for that. And we're going to be doing some more live streaming, probably like for Dead of Winter. I'm getting a lot of requests for that. So you're looking at possibly a Dead of Winter live stream and a couple other things. As time goes on, we'll figure this all out. The reason why we'll figure this all out is because at the time that I am recording this, we're still under kind of like isolation for the COVID-19, and we're just trying to keep isolated, keep busy, because you can go a little like shack happy because you're staying at home, but it's not bugging me as much because I have so much stuff that I can do, and that's all I've ever done. Was I'd go to work, I'd come home, and I'd stay home. Exciting. Yeah, because I have so much stuff to do. I have no problem keeping myself occupied. No issue with it one bit. So you can see there, Leadbelcher is all done. On his sword, onto his bracer, and buckle on his belt too as well. So that's it for Leadbelcher. So what we're going to jump onto now is painting the red for his cloak. So I'm going to grab the paint and we'll be back. It's time to paint the red cloak now. Well, the cloak, and obviously so we're going to paint it red. Oh, I gave the secret away. No, no. In either case, we're going to paint it red, and we're going to be using Mephiston red mixed with Abaddon black. Focus. There we go. And the mix ratio to this is probably like 2 Mephiston red, 1 Abaddon black, and 2 water. And it's kind of give like a deep red color. So you can see there, that's the color that we're going with. So just like so. Being as careful as possible with this. Not to get it on his pants or anything. Very carefully. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just like that. You gotta whisper too when you're doing it, because it helps you paint. Yeah, just like that. See? That's the ticket. All right, so we're just gonna keep painting away here. You can add more water or less water, whatever you want. I didn't make it as translucent as the other paint because I didn't want to. So I'm liking this color. It's kind of like a dried blood tone. Woo! Scary. Scary blood tone. Because he's a demon. Well, not a demon, but he's scary. We'll just say that. He's scary. All right. So, again, just keep it up with it. Being as careful as possible. No, 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 no. Just like so. And again, his little bit of ripped, tattered shirt is going to be red, like right here. Same with the rest of his cloak. So I'm going to continue painting this. I'm not going to bore you with this, so I'll paint this and I'll be back after it's all done. While we're waiting for the red, or deep red I should say, to dry, we are going to start and we're going to do the base here while we're waiting. And we're going to be using the texture paint by Citadel again, the Astro Granite Debris. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You just add some to it, little bit by little bit. Trying to avoid defeat if you can. And the more you put on it, the thicker it is, the longer it takes to dry, but the more texture you get. So you gotta give a little to get a little, as they say. So just like the other painting videos that I did using this technique. Just put it on with your brush and go around gently, carefully and gently. Just like so. Nothing difficult going on here. Nothing, no tomfoolery or trickery here. No. Just like it is. And that is it. All right. So I'm going to continue doing this. I'll be back when this is dry and we'll go on with the next step, which will be the wash. Now that the base is dry and the red is dry, and I did say we were going to do the wash next, but before we even touch upon the wash, what we're going to do is we're just going to dry brush the base and the cork rocks first. And we're using the same color that we're doing a lot, the pixelated white. There we go. Now you can see. So again, the way we're dry brushing this is just with our dry brush, which is very beat up because of all the dry brushing that I do. And you put a little bit of product on, wipe off a bit, and just try to do it as gently as possible. It kind of looks like the base is still not dry yet. It was dry to the touch, but once I start rubbing it, it kind of was peeling off. Because again, in certain spots it is thicker. So again, because of that, it just takes a little bit more time to dry. So maybe we'll just give this a little bit more, because you can see right here where the part, it still looks a little damp. So a couple more minutes. Again, this here stuff is very fragile until it is completely set. So we'll be back shortly. Since we gave this a little bit more time to dry, we're going to be doing the dry brushing again before the wash. And it's, like I said before, it's the Proxetti White. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to dry brush just lightly the miniature itself as well as the base with the same Proxetti White. So when I do this, I'll apply it, gently brush it over where I want it. But again, it's only a little bit on his pants too as well. On his cloak. Now it's not going to show up on the bone color, but that's perfectly fine. That's what I planned on. The reason why I'm doing this, because if you look at the other one, it does have the same thing. It has some dry brushing onto it, very little. So we're just going to continue on with just small amounts of the dry brush. That's on the base too as well. So when I'm all dry brushed out, when I'm all dry brushed, this, I'll come back and we'll throw the wash onto it. Since the dry brush is done now with the Proxetti White, we're going to be doing our wash, and the mixture of the wash is pretty simple. It's 1 part Agrax Earthshade to 1 part Known Oil to 1 part water. So I mix it all up here, and we are going to wash the entire miniature except for the rock. We are avoiding the rock. So just be aware of that we are avoiding the rock. So I'm just going to go over it now. So just the entire thing, a nice dirty brown wash. And I just, like I said, I wasn't originally planning on putting a highlight onto the miniature at all because of where we kept everything so watered down with the zenithal highlight. But we just did it anyhow because I did it in the other ones, and I want to keep the consistency. The colors may not be exactly the same consistency, but the painting process and everything is definitely there. So again, you can see I just applied it, even the sword, everywhere except for the cork rock there. We're going to keep that like it is. Make sure you get it all nice on the hands, and so he's going to be brighter than the other ones, but he's still going to be dirty. Not super dirty, but dirty enough. All right, so once that is done drying, we'll be back for the next step. Now that the wash is all done and is dry, we are going to put some tufts of grass onto it, and we're using grass from Gamer's Grass. Now this is the assorted pack, but this is the color I'm going for because I've used this in all the other miniatures, and it seems to bring everything out. Like, it just brightens it up a little bit is, what I'm going for. So I just used some super glue and I put it on the bottom side of the tuft of grass, and then I just apply it with my tweezers here. Just like so. And I think we're going to do one more tuft of grass because that tuft of grass is a little small, but you could just do that if you want. It's no big deal, but I like using a little bit more grass. So I'm just going to grab some more super glue here. Drop some down. Put without sticking it to my super glue. I didn't have a good grip onto it. All right. Ah, come on. We'll do it that way. Just like that. Because my tweezers aren't that strong. Then I'll spin this around. And we'll put another one like right here by the cork rock. There we go. So I like that. That looks good. I like him. Now, the only other thing is we're going to paint the base, or the rims of the base. We're going to do it on all three of these because I never did it. And you can paint it with all different colors or the same color. It's totally up to you. But you can differentiate between them all because, again, looking at these, one is like a bluish color, one is green, and one is red. So I'm just going to paint all the rims of the base the same color. And let's say we are just going to paint them with maybe Mephiston red, because I like that color. It's red, it's dangerous, so I'll be back in a moment. There we go, the last step was done. I did it off camera because I didn't want to bore you with just painting the rims. I painted them all Mephiston red. Just, you can tell that they're three different entities just by looking at them, so I didn't really have to paint the rims differently to differentiate, like I said. But let's look at the one that we finished here, the red one. I like the way it is, got the little speckles going on for the dirt. And you know, into the pants too as well. A little bit of highlighting still showing through because of the wash and everything. So if we bring up another one, same kind of tonal value, I should say, even though that the cloak is red as opposed to blue. And if we grab the other one too as well, the green one, greenish black. Had fun painting these. I really like the look of them, the miniatures. I'm glad I finished these because I can't wait to put them on the table to play. And I hope you enjoyed this Painting with the Maniac episode, because I certainly enjoyed painting it and talking to you as I paint it. So tune in next episode with Painting Maniac, where we continue painting more miniatures. And it's not so much learning with me, but just being with me as I discover and learn new techniques and painting too as well. So thank you very much for tuning in. And if you stuck out this long, thumbs up to you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button onto the YouTube channel, Board Game Maniacs. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter. But our Twitter account is kind of dormant because we're going to be doing that only for live streaming, which we are doing too as well. And we may just be switching over from Twitter to YouTube just for live streaming, but that's down the road. We're still trying to figure that out. So until next time, Board Game Maniacs, hope you had fun painting with a maniac, because I certainly had fun painting with you. So until next time, be a maniac. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger. Because of you, the viewers, I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.